Okay, hello everyone. Thank you, Alex. I can see your comments. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining from. Thank you so much for joining the live session. Please confirm you can hear me clearly by typing portfolio in the comments. I would like to know if you can hear me. Type, okay, you can't hear me. Okay. Please confirm you can hear me now. Oh, okay. I can see some comments, which means some persons can see me, can also hear me. Please, I would like other persons to confirm they can hear me clearly before we start the session. Thank you so much for the comments. So welcome everyone. Okay, thank you so much, Kashi, for that confirmation. Please, if you know anyone who would be interested in this session, kindly share the link with them, invite them so they can join us. So we only have 1 hour, 30 minutes for this session, right? And we're going to be starting in earnest. Nothing is going to delay us today. And so if you have anyone who has not joined us, who you think this session will be very beneficial to, please let's send the link to them as we proceed. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Please, I would like other persons to also confirm. Please confirm if this is lagging, confirm if you can hear me clearly, and confirm if you can see me clearly as well. Thank you. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. If you have anyone who has not joined yet, and you think this session will be beneficial to them, please encourage them to join, because this might be the only portfolio session we would have that's regarding what we are going to be talking about today anyways. So please, if you have anyone who would be interested in joining the session, please invite them for the program. So once again, thank you everyone for joining, especially those that came at exactly 11 a.m. Thank you for joining, and let me know where you are joining from, because I always love seeing the different locations. We've had different sessions where people come from or joined from Malawi, US, UK, Canada, different places all over the world. So I would love to also see that right now. So let me know where you are joining from. Okay, I can see Tokozani from South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm so happy. I'm very excited for this session as well. I'm very happy that you are happy about the session. So please let's let the comment section be bubbling. So I would like to know where you have joined from. Many people have joined from Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja, and different places. I'm currently in Nigeria anyways, and it is very early. It is morning here. It is 11 a.m. right here. So I would also like, okay, I can see Godwin from Uganda. I can see Ibrahim from Sudan. Okay. I can see John from Uganda. Thank you so much for joining us. I can see Brain Teas from Tanzania. You are all welcome to this session. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. All right. Thanks to those that joined from different places. So I'm really excited about it, that, like I said earlier, because this is a conversation that is long overdue. Right? A lot of people are learning data, they are taking courses, they are building dashboards, they are writing queries, they are even doing the ML parts, ML projects, building models and all that. But when it is time for them to present their work, there is confusion, right? And you will see people who upload their projects randomly, any project they see online like this, or they will go to YouTube and then they will just upload. Please confirm you can also hear me. Yeah, thank you so much, Okoyemi, for joining. I can see everyone that are commenting. I can see everyone commenting. And like I said, a lot of people upload their projects randomly. Wherever they see, they just upload it. Their portfolio does not have any structure, right? There is no story attached to the portfolio. Their portfolio does not give a clear message. And sometimes the work they do is actually good, but the presentation is very, very, very weak. And that's exactly why we are here today. So today we're not going to be talking about tools. We're not going to be talking about where to upload it, because I'm very sure that most of us have places, or I've heard where the places where we need to upload our portfolios, like GitHub, Wix, maybe a simple website, maybe Medium and all those platforms. We are not really here to talk about it because I believe some of you have that idea already. But what we are going to be focusing more today would be how we can think, right? How we can think about building one properly, how we can build a portfolio that is structured, a portfolio that is clear, a portfolio that has a structure, like I said, a portfolio that is clear, that has a story, how we can structure it, how we can present your projects in the platform that you are going to be placing it on, and how you can tell your story clearly and confidently. Maybe while you are being interviewed and they ask you, okay, how explain what you have done. So you are not just telling them anything, but you are presenting them in a clear manner and in a very confident manner. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I think some time ago, what I did was, I think I was having a one-on-one session with somebody, and she gave me a resume. When I went through her resume, she was like, there are some projects she did. She can't really talk about it because she copied it. And I don't want to, I was a bit disappointed, right? Because there are a lot of people like that. They have projects, they copied it, they saw it somewhere, they copied it, but they can't even talk about it. Even if you copy a project, you should still be able to talk about that project. You should still be able to talk about, to defend that project confidently to your reviewers or to your interviewers. So this is very, very also important, because we'll also be talking about how you can confidently tell your stories clearly to your recruiters. So I don't want to talk too much. Today, this is how we are going to do it. Blessing is going to walk us through how to properly structure a strong data portfolio. And then we're going to have a live Q&A where every one of us would be given an opportunity to have questions. Maybe you have your portfolios already. Maybe you don't have any portfolios already, and you have some questions that have been bothering your mind. This is an opportunity for you to tell us those questions, and we are going to be answering them right now. Yeah, so I can see a comment, sister, tell us how to make projects. That is not a problem. And I've done some videos, I've created some videos, I've uploaded some videos that would actually help you to build some projects on your own. I think recently I shared how you could get data sets, not clean data sets now, because almost everybody uses clean data sets. Almost everybody uses a data set that has already been worked on, right? But we are going to be using, so I talked about how you would use data sets, a messy one, and the places where you can get those data sets. So do not worry about that. And then lastly, what we're going to be doing is to review real portfolios live. So when I sent out the registration form, I included, or I gave opportunity to some persons or to people, everyone that had access to the registration form, to add their portfolio link. So we are going to be selecting one, right? And if you have submitted your portfolio and you are right here, yes, you'll be given an opportunity. We're going to be showcasing it and reviewing it right here online, right here live, right? And if those that submitted their portfolios are not here, if none of them is here, then we are going to give you an opportunity, even though you did not register, even though you did not fill your form, we're also going to be giving you an opportunity to fill that form or to share the portfolio link with us. Yes. So please stay till the end. Like I said, Blessing is going to walk us through how to properly structure a strong data portfolio. Then we are going to be having a live Q&A where you ask questions that have been bothering you, questions about portfolios. We're going to be answering every one of them here. And then we're also going to be reviewing live portfolios live. So it depends on the time. We proposed to have this meeting for 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. So depending on the time, we might only review 1 or 2 portfolios. However, those that stay to the end, I will give them an opportunity to work on their portfolios based on what we are going to be talking about today, and then they can submit it to me. I would review it and then I'll give you feedback, and then you will work on it for those that stay to the very end. Yeah, so like I said, please don't disappear after the teaching because I am going to notice. Now, when I thought about who could walk us through this portfolio right now, this session in a practical and clear way, Blessing immediately came to my mind. So let me properly introduce her. So Blessing Okeke is a data solutions architect. And I think I'm going to pause for a bit. Please confirm you can hear me clearly before I introduce her to the stage. Please confirm. And how do you confirm? Type portfolio in the comments. That will help me to know whether we are following, whether you can hear me clearly, and if you can see me clearly. So please confirm you can hear me before I proceed with the introduction. I can't see any comments yet. Hello, please confirm you can hear me before I start introducing Blessing. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for that confirmation. Okay, so let's properly introduce her right now. So Blessing Okeke is a data solutions architect and engineer who genuinely loves data like I do, and most importantly, loves the challenge of turning data into something useful, reliable, and impactful. So she currently works as a data and analytics engineer at a Big Four consulting firm, building solutions at the intersection of data engineering, analytics, and business strategy, helping organizations extract real strategic value and make confident decisions. So for Blessing, data is not just a job, it is a craft. Her work is driven by curiosity, problem solving, and continuous improvement. She's grounded in a background in industrial mathematics, and beyond her industry work, she has also taught over 150 learners across data engineering, analytics, and applied data skills. And what makes her perfect for today's conversation is her ability to translate complex data concepts into clear, practical narratives. I think that was what drew me to her, right? That was what made me to, okay, I think Blessing should be the best person to handle this portfolio, because I wanted you to understand what portfolio really is. That's the thing. So even before you start talking about portfolio, there are some persons that don't even have an idea of what portfolio is, what it should entail, and all those things. So when I saw Blessing, I was like, okay, I think she knows how to break complex data concepts into clear and practical narratives. Let's bring her in. And that is exactly what strong portfolio building requires. It requires someone that can actually tell you how to structure it, how to talk or explain in a confident and clear way. So Blessing, I'm very sure you're currently here right now. Thank you so much for joining us today. The stage is yours. So I'm going to be inviting Blessing. And while she's coming up to the stage, please, I would like you all to welcome her. It's either you send us a clapping emoji, or you just say, welcome, Blessing, welcome, Blessing, welcome, Blessing. So please, I would like every one of you to welcome her to the stage right now. She's currently here I would love you to welcome her to the stage.
Hello everyone, please kindly confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Blessing. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for honoring my invitation.
Thank you
Uh,
so much for having me.
Thank you, Blessing. I'm still expecting your welcome. I'm yet to get any response. Okay, thank you, Godwin. Yeah, I can see only Godwin. Okay, thank you, Jox Vexi. Alex, thank you, guys. So please, before blessing starts, I would like every one of you to either use your notepad to jot things down because she's going to be dishing out a lot of values. She's going to be dishing out a lot of insights. So it's either you use your notepad on your laptop or you have a note where you can write down. And one thing I tell people when we have a conversation like this, a session like this, is that I tell them to implement what you will be taught. If you come to a session like this and you don't write anything down, you don't implement what you are being taught, then it's going to be a waste. So I'm going to encourage every one of you to listen attentively. Yes, this session is going to be recorded, I understand. But then don't depend on the recorded version of this session, please. Write down, ask questions where necessary, and then implement every single strategy that we are going to be giving you today. We are all in the industry, which means we are experienced, which means we're going to be sharing from the wealth of experience that we have already. So please do not take this for granted. And I wish you all the very best. Once again, blessing, welcome. And thank you so much for honoring this invitation. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining from. My name is Blessing Okeke and it's an honor to be here today with you. Please let me know when you can see my screen. All right. Please, can you see my screen? Hello, Esther. Please, can you confirm you can see my screen? Hello.
Yes, your screen is up now. Yes, it's very clear. And I can see you as well.
All right. In present mode. This is perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Blessing Okeke, like I earlier mentioned, and it's an honor to do this with every single one of you. The data community is a very, very beautiful community, and it excites me when I'm privileged to walk us through conversations like this. It's as important as even when you build in private. I'm going to create a typical case scenario, but before I do that, let me walk us through this. So I would not go down as explaining or introducing myself again. Esther did a very beautiful job doing that. Thank you so much, Esther, for that introduction. My name is Blessing, like she earlier mentioned, and I work as a data analytics engineer at EY, where I work around its architectures, transform complex data into actionable insights. Now to the business of today. Before we start talking about portfolio building or we start discussing the do's and don'ts or what you should do, how about we come to terms with where we currently at as a market? So I get to speak to anyone who cares to listen that this data is an industry as its own, the entire data career and data profession. It's a full blown industry with different moving parts, different sections to the industry. But again, this brings me back to us. What is the reality of today's market? So, seeing the word market should not be surprised. "Ah, what do you mean by market? Are we going to buy pepper, or are we going to purchase goods and services? Yes, it's an industry, and this is a market. So, what's the reality of today's market? The brutal truth is this: almost everyone has a certificate, everyone knows basic SQL, everyone has a GitHub, but few people show business or production thinking. So, given all this case scenario, a data portfolio is no longer optional, but it's the differentiation in today's market. And the gospel truth is everyone has a GitHub. But what differentiates you? What makes you stand out? And what are recruiters looking for today? These are the different things we need to come to terms with. Again, we are having to have this conversation so you know where the industry currently is, or where the industry is as at today. I think as I yesterday or during the week, I could see that, oh, Microsoft was giving out under 10,000 vouchers to data professionals who want to take certain certifications. So you turn everywhere, everyone is having certifications, but certifications does not equate to portfolio. You would agree with me that certifications, because you see people talk about the certification they've been able to earn, does not mean they have a job, or does not mean they are currently in the industry. So certification is not portfolio. And knowing basic SQL is also not portfolio. Everyone also has a GitHub. Now, how do you position yourself given the reality of today's market? Because before, when one has a certification, it's more like, oh, this person is this, that person is that. But a number of things have changed, and we all need to what, move with the market. Right. Now, why do you need a portfolio? It's one thing to say, okay, portfolio, but if you don't understand the why, the reason you need your portfolio, I don't think you would have the sense of responsibility to take it as a serious matter that it actually is. A portfolio proves a number of things. It proves you can apply technical skills. It proves you understand business or system impact. It proves that you think clearly like someone already ready for the role you're applying for. And it also proves that you can communicate clearly. I'll paint a typical case scenario. I come to you, just imagine you have myself and Esther, and you're having to pick between both of us or between one of us whom you should go for. I come to you, I say, oh, hello. Let me look for someone in the chat. I love to put names to conversations. Let me call, okay, I have Godwin. Godwin was the last person who sent a text. I say, oh, hi, Godwin. My name is Blessing. I know how to write SQL query. I tell you, oh, I know how to write Python. I tell you, I can architect data solutions, right? But Esther comes to you, hello, Godwin. I've been able to solve a problem. I've been able to do X, Y, Z. And this is the insight I've been able to derive using these tools. Because at the end of the day, tools are just means to an end. Like I basically care to tell anyone who cares to listen, right? Tools are just means to an end. So they are not actually the step in itself. So you can see the reason why we have this whole conversation. Godwin, if you are the recruiter and you have myself and Esther, we are both competent enough. But I'm just coming with you with words of mouth that, oh, Godwin, I know SQL, I know Python. And Esther comes with you with all of the other details. Whom would you go for? Whom would you logically yearn towards? Because one is giving you evidence, one is giving you your say, or one is giving you words of mouth. Even if technically or business wise, Blessing has more to offer. But Esther is showing you what she can offer. She's showing you her thinking and her thought process before even having to question her further. Are we making sense? Please, if you're with me and you know, okay, you're with oh, Ariba, All right, sure. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Abiba Anif, please explain about how to think like someone already in the role. We'll go into that detail when we start looking at the different data roles we have and what is expected of you. But this is me just trying to prep our mind. I want us to be very curious as we go about this session, right? Think of this. Oh, everyone would yearn towards Esther move because she's showing you, walking you through her thought process, every single thing. She's taking initiative. Do you understand? All right, let's go to our next slide. Our next slide here we have, thank you, Bernice. Definitely going for Esther. Now, what a portfolio is not. A portfolio is not a collection of exercises. You're not up working on an exercise or answering a particular question at school or at your date or at your camp or your tech camp or your tech hub, anything you're currently engaged in, and just pushing to your GitHub or as your portfolio. So your portfolio is not a collection of exercises. For those who are in data science, your portfolio are not your competitions cargo, your cargo competitions dump. Your portfolio is not SQL Project 1. Your portfolio is not a certificate case study. Your portfolio is not a tool showcase. So these are the things your portfolio is not. Do you understand? It is not, oh, Google certification, you're giving this case study, you answered it. Mind you, during while trying to end that particular certificate, the answers were already there. You're just copying everything verbatim and you're pushing as your portfolio. That is not your portfolio because that is not your thought process. And everyone knows this. Every technical hire who is hiring for a particular role knows this. They know there is a Google certificate case, so they can see, they can tell that this is not your work. It's not a collection of exercises where your tutor is trying to just test your ability to probably write a CT or write a subquery or do any other technical exercises. Right? So that is not, it is not a tool showcase. Your portfolio is not where you come to show how much tool you can use. Even with how our world is, considered we like it or not, AI has incorporated into our professional world. Without it is not tool showcase because anyone can go and just write a prompt and copy your code and paste. And that is it. So with even how the world is going and how AI is right now, your portfolio is not all of that. Now I've explained to us why we need a portfolio, what your portfolio is not. Now let's explain what exactly a portfolio really is. Now, what a portfolio is a simulation of a real world project tailored to your target role. You should not be aiming for the role of a data analyst or a data engineer. And your project I'm seeing is tailored to probably a UI UX designer, or you might even be trying to get a data analyst project and you're tailoring yours to AI engineering or machine learning engineering. You're confusing whoever is looking at a portfolio. You really don't know what you want. So it should look like real work. It should solve real problems and it should demonstrate decision making. I'll give us a couple of seconds to simmer down everything we've said the last couple of minutes. Simulated real world project tailored to your target role. It should look like real work. It should solve real problems and it should demonstrate decision making. Please, I'll take questions now. Thank you. Like I said, seeing is believing. I'm just getting the comments from the previous questions I asked. Esther will be the perfect candidate because she has proved that she can solve problems exactly. Now, your word, for the last comments we had, you can see she has proved that she can solve what problems. Now, that's exactly a part of the things your portfolio should portray. It should look like real work. It should solve real problems and it should demonstrate what decision making. You're not coming to your portfolio to just put in tools and just write, oh, I use this ABC SQL project one. That is not a portfolio. And because you have your work on GitHub does not make it a portfolio. That's something, oh, you have a portfolio, yes. You just show your GitHub link. So the presence of something being on GitHub does not equate it being a portfolio. I want to make that very clear because I see a lot of people make some statement and I kind of chuckle a bit that, oh, you have project, or you have, oh, it's on GitHub, I have a portfolio. Let me see your GitHub link. And I'm seeing, I'll tell them, oh, this is not a portfolio. Say, oh no, I pushed it there. Because you're pushing certain blocks of code to GitHub does not equate it to being a portfolio. So this is what your portfolio should be. It should simulate a real world project tailored to your role. So don't just build project and miss. Don't just put things randomly or outside just for putting sake. In other words, a portfolio should have a complete real life project and nothing less. Thank you. And what? Nothing less. Don't give us a portfolio of something that is not realistic. No one is asking you to be futuristic with your portfolio because nobody is bringing you into a company for a futuristic role. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'll take it again. You know the way we watch our movies on Netflix, we watch sci-fi, those who are there was the particular movie I was watching last night. They're making relations to 2000 and 2100, right? 2100. Currently in 2026, right? That's about 74 years to come. So nobody's expecting a 74 years to come project from you. So you should submit a real world project tailored to your what? To your target role. Please ask questions at this point. I would love to take questions before I go further. Everything we've said so far, anything that is not clear, if you're with me, give a thumbs up, via the chat. Oh, yes, blessing, I understand this exactly. Okay, what are your thoughts on the website portfolio? And are the contents still the same as what you have explained before? Thank you. So I would say something, right? When it comes to a website, I do have a website myself, but your website cannot be cannot be tailored or arranged like a portfolio should be. Why do I say so? Only if on your website your at please let me if you can still hear me, you can still see my screen. If you can hear me, you can see my screen. Please do well to give a thumbs up or just say
Yes,
something.
blessing. I can hear you and I can see your screen.
All right, thank you. I was answering a question, a website portfolio. So I tell anyone that a website portfolio would not give such depth as what is expected, right? You can have a website that talks about you. You can have a website that talks about even every other thing you do outside of your actual job description. For example, I actually tutor aside being a data analyst and a data engineer, right? I tutor, I make content, I make visual content around data. I also love to talk about data. I love presentations like this. It gives me the ability to give back to the community that has actually built me, right? So when I see case scenarios like this, it just makes a whole lot of sense, right? So I can have a website talking about everything about me. I have my email, I have an email address, info@blessedokeke.com. I could have a website detailing all of that. Then for a portfolio section, I could talk about the project I've worked on. maybe just a brief detail of such project, then attach a link, probably my GitHub link explaining that. Mind you, I could also have a Medium portfolio where I have technical write-ups. I could be a technical writer. Probably while working on a particular project, I noticed something and I looked for materials around that online. I could not find. But I was able to tackle that situation myself with deep research, doing a lot of work back and forth, debugging, and I finally got a solution. I could open up my Medium article, write about that, just about that problem faced, so that when anyone encounters such issue, they know how to go about it. Now, can you see I've mentioned different things around myself as a person, right? Because GitHubs are better with technical write-ups or writing. Doesn't have to be technical write-up. I'm saying technical in respect to our role and our industry, right? So your website could contain all of those details, but your website should not be your website should not be your only portfolio link. Like, it should not be what recruiters are going to check for your portfolio. It should not be what your next manager, your hiring manager should go to get what you need to get. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. So that should not be what they are going to pick from you. I don't know if I answered your question just Vexy, right? So the content would still not be as structured as a GitHub. For your GitHub portfolio, you have a README session, you have where you can attach your files and upload files. I'm going to tell you how to structure that in subsequent slide. You'd see the write-up I have around all of that. So a website, I'm advising everyone on this. Again, everyone has know that, but I'm advising everyone here. Please don't have your website as your only portfolio source. Your website can talk about you and different things you do as a person, because it is a career you're working on, right? This is a career you're building. Your whole career as a whole, your website could have that, but your links to different things should also be clearly stated. Do you understand? It should be clearly stated so we don't have things muffled up. Do you understand? All right, thank you so much. I'll take one more question and I'll go back. We're still going to have a Q&A session. But I feel it's important I answer some questions on the fly. So as I'm moving forward, you also move along with me. Do you understand? All right, Bernice, you said earlier that the portfolio is not a certificate case study. Does that mean project completion during a certification program shouldn't be included? Only those we did outside of that. Bernice, I would want to tell you categorically yes. Now, I would say this for two reasons. One, or again, it depends. One, if you're, for example, we have the Google certification. That is a very common case study you see people have on their portfolio. You don't want to have everything every other person has. You want to think distinction in the industry. You want to think what is differentiating you from the next person. And that is not your thought process, because most likely they've given you what to do, tell you what to start from, what to do, what you're trying to solve. They've built a whole solution for you and they've thought the process out for you. That is not your exact thinking. So you've learned from them, right? You could use their prototype, build your own. You could even go on Kaggle, get a data set. That same data you can probably enrich the data better using AI, add more data, then create and simulate a world project, right? Giving the data set you have, simulate a real world project, give it a name. You cannot follow probably the steps or or how you're training, how you've been trained on how to go about different things. You can now do that subsequently, but that should not be part of your portfolio, because I can tell you that for every 100 persons who took that same course, over 50,000 have that as their portfolio projects. And your hiring managers know, because they've been hiring for the role, they actually in the field. Once they see it, they'll tell this is this. Imagine someone coming to you, right, with a Google certification project that you know and you've recruited people over time, you've seen them use that same thing over and over again. And someone coming with a different and a fresh perspective, walking you through their thought process, whom would you go for? Sometimes not every white or not everything is white and black. Not because I say it's a project, just no. Sometimes you think beyond what it is. What would differentiate me from these people, from this particular people, or every other applicant who would apply for the same role? And that would also make you stretch your analytical, because we all have it in us. Every single person at one point in our lives, we've all been analysts. We've all said, oh, there's traffic now, I would leave earlier, I would leave later. What have you done? You make decision based on data, right? Now you sit back, think about everything we need to do. How can I also present my work in video form? After doing your projects and your GitHub, you could go on. We all have YouTube. Go on YouTube, record your walkthrough process, and you can maybe attach it to your GitHub. That's fine. But that's after you must have properly documented. That should be maybe an aftermath if you feel like you still want to do a project walkthrough, a video form. So record yourself, talk about it, walk them through. That's actually fine, and maybe a way to put a cake on the an icing on your cake, right? Please, I would love to go further. I hope we are all getting the whole scope. I don't want to just give you on your portfolio, do A, B, C, and D. I want you to understand why you're doing this thing. Because when you get the why, you get the picture of the why you're doing every single step you take, it makes sense to you. Because you will never always have blessing to ask every single question. Oh, blessing said I should put A, B, C, and D. You won't be flexible in your documentation if I'm just telling you what to put in your portfolio projects. You won't be flexible. You just let me go and check. Blessing said put A here, put B here, put C here, put D here. No. Blessing will not be there to look at your data set every time and tell you if it is good enough. Blessing will not be there to look at your project name every time to tell you if it is good enough. So I want you to understand the why, understand what you're trying to achieve, so you can make that decision on your own. So you're sufficient enough to answer those questions correctly, not just answering them for answering sake. And you're building beautiful and wonderful projects. Because a lot of us actually have good projects, but we've not structured it well. So I'll continue and what we have. Let me go back to set mode. Okay. So when should you build one? So in life, right, I'm a big fan of there are times and seasons for everything. The industry is not going anywhere. That's one thing you should know. This industry is not going anywhere. And there is time and season for everything. When you're learning is not when you should be doing what we call a portfolio project. For example, just take for instance, I'm one who wants to get into the data industry. Okay, I have Bernice. Oh, Dennis is a data professional, and she just registered for a tutorial or a tech or registered there. She wants to learn data analysis, and they started SQL. Dennis has just done SQL class 1, class 2, and the next thing, Dennis is building an SQL project. Because she does not even understand the whole picture yet, she's most likely be submitting, compiling her exercises and putting the practice SQL. When you're learning SQL, is not when you should build a portfolio. Not when not when you're practicing pandas, not when you're building dashboard, not when you're training models. When you should build one is when you're applying them. There is a difference between learning and applying. For example, I'm trying to learn subquery. I'm trying to learn common table expression. I'm trying to learn DBT, data build tool for transformation. I'm trying to learn eBytes. I'm trying to learn how to engineer a column. I'm learning how to train a model. I'm learning how to do features engineering for my models, for my AI system. I'm learning how to do RAG. I'm learning how to build a chatbot. That is not a portfolio phase or a portfolio building phase. When I'm now applying them into real world scenario, when I'm applying these skills to frame a business problem or a system problem, now that is when I'm building a portfolio. So because there has to be the learning phase before the application phase. No one jumps into the application phase. So when you're framing your business or system problems, when you're justifying your decisions, when you're explaining trade-offs as an architect, oh, this is the reason why I'm using this and not this. This is the reason why I'm scaling horizontally and not vertically. When you're able to clearly communicate your insights, now that is the application phase, and that is when you should build a portfolio. Please don't get it twisted. I'm not saying keep learning until you start learning and you become, in fact, the new data professionals keep meeting you in class. Your set have gone, you started applying, you just keep learning. You just, because one thing is, in this field, learning is continuous. So the learning I'm making reference to in this phase is your initial learning phase, because we never stop learning. As I'm speaking to you myself, I still learned something this week at work for a particular client project, because I work in consulting. And for each project I work on, each different case scenario, there are different approach to it. I still learned something this week. I can tell you for a fact that if I bring Esther up, Esther will tell you she's still learning different things on the job. Not to even not talk about our ever evolving system, that every day there are new things that are coming up. Every day there are new things in the news. There are new tools, there are new applications, new way of doing things. So there is no way there will be nothing new to learn. But this learning phase I'm talking about here, do you understand? The learning phase I'm making reference to here is not the continuous learning, it's your initial learning. Then go into application. So please do not mistake learning for application. And if you're learning, if you're starting out, dedicate the time, have a roadmap. If you're learning for a month, 2 months, have a roadmap, follow it strictly. After which, start application. Start applying it to business problems. Justify your decisions. Explain your trade-off. Communicate clearly. Do you understand? So I hope with this, you're able to sit back. Again, please do not dwell too much learning, that you just keep learning, and you never get to build anything confidently. All right. I hope this is clear. I would love to see reactions around this. Please, are we clear as to when we should start building one and when we shouldn't? Please, do we understand? Can I move on to the next slide? Do we understand when to build and when to apply? Any reaction? Please, hope you can still hear me. All right, thank you so much. I'll be very snappy. A lot of things I'm talking about now, I've either mentioned them in passing, excuse me, but you see what we have to do. Now, we've explained what a portfolio is not, what it is, when you should build, and even why you need a portfolio to start with. Now, let's look at the different, or the three major careers we have in our data industry, because there are a whole lot more. But for the sake of this class and to keep things structured, we'll be doing just three of the different major roles. Number one is, let me not use the word major, every role is major, but let me say the three most common roles, right? So the data analyst portfolio, now what it must demonstrate: your North Star metrics, insight storytelling, clean dashboard, stakeholder recommendations. So before I even go into what it should not or what it should demonstrate, please, our examples of our project is very important. But look at this project name: search revenue and retention analysis. With this, I can tell I already have an insight as to what you're trying to achieve in this particular project, or what this particular portfolio is about. Revenue and retention analysis, software as a service revenue and retention analysis. I'm not saying projects with SQL, or I'm not saying analysis using SQL. I don't know if you're getting my point. Let our project actually talk, our project's name clearly define what we're trying to achieve, what kind of analysis we're trying to do. If it's a sales trend analysis, let us have it there. Not SEO, because we are all these tools are just means to an end. Because in a kind of way, you're also kind of selling yourself short. Once they see SQL and you're looking for another tool, and be like, oh, this person just knows SQL. But let them know that you are an analyst, you're a critical thinker. You think clearly, and these tools are just means to an end. That's why your tools should not be the face of your projects. Continue or look at our analyst structure. Your company, the first thing you should have is your company context. Yes, you're not working in a company. Yes, you're building a portfolio. Assume the role. Like I said earlier here, I said simulate what? A real world project tailored to your target role. Simulate these projects. Talk about the company context, because each company context will determine what kind of analysis you're doing there. So start with the company's context, the business questions you're trying to answer, the KPIs, now the insights you've derived from the KPIs. Or KPIs are the key performance indicators that would answer those business questions. Then the insight by dimension. Don't just put your insight loosely. Clearly state the insight so that anyone who is following through your project would not lose sight of what you're trying to achieve. So group your insight by dimensions. Now your recommendations. You can have your code, which is part of your appendix. I'm going to open a GitHub portfolio we're going to look at today, but you would see how it is. You can have your code in your GitHub, just upload it, either a .sql file, a .py file, your dashboard, your PBIX, have everything there. Let them be uploaded, but they should not form your README. You should not have your code in your README. You should not have your code in your README, right? Come back. Now for our data engineers, your architecture diagram, your design justification, your data validation strategy, performance and scaling plan. Because anyone whom you're showing a system would ask you, okay, what's the scaling plan? What's the performance of this system you've built? Because you're an architect. The same way if you build a house, no one will just, you build a house and just park in and go and live there. Because anything that happens to the house could cause the death of someone. That's the same way if your system crashes anyhow, your analysis will be built on metrics that are no longer true. What's your monitoring strategy to determine the health of the system you've built? All of these are things you should have there. In fact, I always advise that for architects, have a tool agnostic architecture first. Then you now drill down and have an architecture that you're putting the actual tools you want to use. By tool agnostic, I'm saying have your orchestration, your central repository layer, your security layer, your ingestion layer. Let them know these are things you have. They're now, okay, the tools for your own project, the tools you're not trying to use to achieve all of that. So they understand that you understand how the system works. You're not a tool engineer. Your own strategy. Let's have all of this stated. Have all of this justification. I'm not asking you to go ChatGPT and have very long word and not having a long book like a thesis or like one submitting a PhD project. That's not what is being requested of. But let your explanations be as concise and straight to the point as you can have it. Please, let's think like we are actually in the system. So you're being treated like one who actually understands the system. All of these different things we get to do, they matter in the grand scale of things. Think like you're a professional. Let your work show that you're a professional. And one will treat you like a professional and take you like a professional. All of these tiny details, you don't leave all of these tiny details to chance. Now, for our machine learning engineers, your project structure, you would agree with me that cost is one of the things we get to talk about when it comes to engineering, AI, because your model is being built on what are we calling it? Sometimes if you have to work on models, you're having to spend cloud costs, you're having to get an agentic AI. What agent do you want to use? This and that. Like you have to discuss the cost first, the business cost of the problem, your pipeline, No one is asking you to have a robust pipeline like a data engineer. But at least, how do you intend to walk through what you're trying to do? Your model selection rationale. Why this model? Why linear regression? Why supervised learning? Why not unsupervised learning? Why are you doing KNN? Explain to them the reason why you're choosing anything you're doing, right? Your evaluation metric, because now you built it. How are you evaluating that what you built, or the weight you've attached to each of your model parameters are correct? Your evaluation metrics, are you having to use confusion matrix? Are you picking precision over recall? Why this evaluation metrics? Explain it. Explain what the result of your model is. No one is asking you for your model code, or your model code. You can have your model code, have it as part of your appendix, but explain each of those details. Your deployment plan and your drift monitoring plan as well. So with all of this, I hope again, I have to just pick the three most common things we get to do. There are different roles like BI intelligence, data steward, each of them, we see all of this architecture, this arrangement that applies to them. But there are universal do's and don'ts, regardless of what role you are or what part of data industry you currently sit in. Please and please always simulate a real context, even if you have to go to AI to pick that data, even if you have to go to ChatGPT to generate the data, or you use Faker on Python to generate the data, or you go to Kaggle to download a data set, simulate a real context. The data you've downloaded, look at the data points. Can they handle the real context you're trying to simulate? If they cannot handle it fully, the one you've downloaded, go to ChatGPT, get extra things, refurbish it. No one is asking you not to add or work on. In fact, I don't even like getting data from Kaggle alone. If you get it, add things to it. Just make sure it fits into the real context. Because what you might want have as a real context in your head, you might not get the exact data verbatim, but you can get something to start working with, or something to add on, or something to remove from. Get it. Now simulate a real context. And if you're trying to enter a particular niche, simulate your context to that particular niche, that particular industry. Maybe you want e-commerce, you want the big companies. Simulate your project to those, they will find you. Explain your decisions. Again, you don't have to have 7, 8, 9, 10 repositories. If you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 strong projects that you've done end to end, that's beautiful. I always advise to use GitHub professionally. Use your website. Talk about every other thing. Your website can have your certifications, have links to your, if you write technical content, you can have it linked to your Medium article. Have links. If you do multimedia content, maybe you talk in communities, you do volunteering projects, your website could have all of that. But you can even have your portfolios you've done. You can list your portfolios and attach the GitHub to those, so that people can drill down and see how you've achieved the portfolios you have there, how you went about it, your decision making, the context, look at everything. And with that, they can see how you think. Please structure your README properly. There's no reason why I'm seeing code in your README. That's why you can actually upload things. Focus on impact as well. So all of these are the universal do's and don'ts, regardless of where you are or what role you're aiming for. Universals don'ts. Please don't explain tools first. And don't have your code as your final deliverable. Don't have overly academic, like I said, I already explained, I'm not expecting a thesis and you're just writing very long thing in your README. No, let it be tailored. No line should be there for just being there sake. They should all answer a particular thing. No 7 shallow projects. No trade-off discussion. Now, this is for other rules, not engineering. Because for engineering, you have to explain that. Okay. I think with this, I would, because our time is fast spent. Esther, please, I plead for 5 more minutes to round up this slide. I know it's 12 already. Just like I quickly round this up, I'll take questions and we'll look at portfolios. Now, strategy that wins, like I've earlier retreated, instead of six average projects, do one elite, deep, structured, role aligned project. Now, do you know why this matters? It's because anyone who looks at your one elite structured project would know that it took time to get to that point. Even if it's just one, does not mean your thinking is around that one alone. For you to be able to arrive at that, you've had series of builds that got up to that stage. So nobody is judging you by the number of projects you have. Because one deep work means thousands of nights that you actually burnt your candle. It's like it tells how much you must have worked behind the scene to get to that level. So nobody is judging you by the number of projects or portfolio you have, but how deep, how structured, and how role aligned your project is. And the final thing is this: if your portfolio looks like homework, it will be graded like homework. You see that comment to make that? Don't judge a book like its cover. Take it or leave it. We all do that, even if it's consciously or unconsciously. When you see someone wearing a cap, right, white jacket shirts, white jacket shirt, shorts, has a flat shoe in a hospital, what do you call the person? A nurse. You judge the person by his or her look. You judge the person by a cover. So either we like it or not, everyone does that, and your hiring manager will do that to you. Your potential employer will do that to you. So if your portfolio looks like homework, it will be graded like homework. And if your portfolio looks like real work, it will be evaluated like experience. I hope with this we understand how to build a project before we start looking at different projects. All right, so now I will come back and I will take a different question. Please, can you still hear me? Hello? Okay, I'm seeing question around North Star Matrix. Okay, I won't really go into detail as to what NSM means, but just see it as a measurable metric that captures exactly what you're trying to say, right? Based on your context, what you're trying to say. So based on your context, or based on, like I know before we got to the data analyst portfolio, we talked about coming. Okay, after that, we talked about company context, right? So your North Star metrics falls under your KPIs. So that's to be measurable metrics in line with your context. So I won't go that deep into what we have. Okay. So thank you all so much. My name is Blessing Okeke once again. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at Blessing Okeke hyphen, on Instagram at Blessing Okeke underscore. My YouTube channel is coming up soon. I'm going to have an SQL playlist up there soon. I think this is the very first platform I'm having to announce this. Maybe I would inform Esther when I have it up and she would share with the larger team or with the entire team. I think that that up soon. But yes, so far so good. Let's speaking with everyone. Today's 22nd of February. So thank you all. I'll take questions now. Then I will identify. Thank you so much, Okwelu. I'm glad this session appears to be eye-opening for you. I would apply every single thing we've discussed on. Please, we'll look at one. Okay, I think we have, depending on what time we finish our questions. Please, questions and answers. Let's have it right now. No, there are not two different handles. One is Instagram, one is my YouTube, and one is my LinkedIn. I have just one over there. Or you could check my website. Just underneath, you would see the link to what we have. So thank you, Team Esther. I don't know if you can hear me, so we can anchor the question and answer session. I don't know if there was a particular chat for question and answer, so I could just take all of that, or it's still via the comments. Okay, one, is it compulsory to niche down to data analysis? It's not compulsory, but do you have the capacity for it? Not necessarily compulsory, but even if you would take on any other thing, let it be closely related to analysis. I would always advise, let it be closely related to analysis, right? And the entire data role is actually, like, the data role is very much intertwined. For example, I currently sit at the intersection of analysis and engineering. On some projects, I'm an analytics engineer. On some projects, I'm a data engineer, and on some, I'm a data analyst. But my workload just between analytics engineering, and data engineering. And I thoroughly enjoy the data industry as a whole. Tomorrow, don't be surprised if you see Blessing talking about AI tomorrow. But for now, this is where Blessing is currently at. Akinsola, I'm glad it's an eye opener for you, and I'm glad. I hope everyone puts everything we've discussed on into practice, right? Build with all of this in mind. Build with every single thing we've discussed on today in mind. If you don't have any past project on a particular job I want to apply, is it that we have to build one and add it to portfolio before applying for it? So you can never have everything for all job descriptions. So it's always advisable that you do a research. What are the common things that are being requested of for the role you're applying for? Like I said, if you have something in mind, if you want, probably you will study something health related, but you want to go into tech, but you still want to, how do you do tech for tailored to health industry? You could pick the health industry, do analysis on it, do engineering for it. Do you understand? Basically, do what you can around that. Build analysis. Again, they will always pick your analytical thinking over your tool. You don't push tools forward to them, but rather how you can think. Then you say we're using these tools to achieve your analysis. I don't know if that answers your question. You don't have any past project on that particular job. You cannot tell me again. Another thing I'm going to say is you cannot say you're applying for a job where you don't have a working experience and you don't have a portfolio to show for it. I would not trust you. I would not trust you to. Yes, I won't trust to bring you even into. I won't even trust you to bring you in a room to interview you. Don't forget your portfolio stands as an interview before the interview. Your portfolio, in most cases, determines if you would even be let into the interview room. Do you understand? Ola Chikas. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me answer. What can you say to someone looking for internships? Look for internship. They are actually very good. And if you don't get one, you create one yourself. Yes. While building real world project simulation that will take time, what you're doing is internship. Look for someone in the industry to help you look at it. You have Esther in your community. Sometimes you can even post online and tag people to help review or ask for one-on-one review of your work. So while trying to look for internship, please don't stay one place saying, oh, I'm still looking for internship. You would always see graduate trainee roles from companies apply. Look, but still, while waiting or while in your waiting phase, what do you do in your waiting phase? Please don't wait alone. Keep building projects. Keep honing your skill. You can't tell me you have learned finish. And please don't learn alone. Learn, demonstrate, or apply what you've learned based on all our discussion throughout today. Do you understand? I hope I've been able to answer your question as Ola Chizax. I'm sorry, I can only see your username. I cannot actually see your name via chats. So please apply, look for internship, but don't wait. Right? Create one for yourself. You can even ask those who are doing internship what they do. You could ask questions. Those who are currently working or who are in the role where you are, what do they do? Start doing them. Your hiring manager will pick you over someone who just saying I can do this. Or somebody who's even showing you what they can do, but they're not doing it tailored to what they want or tailored to their own framework. So I hope that answers your question. Again, what I need to ask is, what I mean is, in data analyst role, is it necessary to niche down to a particular role, such as marketing analyst? Either we like it or not, analysis is analysis. What you're trying to do is what derive insights. Now, if you probably you have an experience being a marketer or you enjoy marketing, so you want to be in that role, you can. In fact, I saw something recently on LinkedIn. A lady wrote something and she said she got into Microsoft, and prior to getting into Microsoft, she never knew such roles existed because they are not your typical data analysis role, and they are not your typical business intelligence tag. So what she said is after that, and the things she's doing are things they would commonly tag business intelligence and data analysis. So what she is now doing is she now search for the things she can do, not the name. So she's not searching for market analyst. She's not searching for data analyst. She's searching for building insights with SQL. Do you understand? So she's searching for all of those tiny details. I don't know if you understand my point. So most times today, you will not see, some companies would not just clearly state data analysis or market analysis. Only if you have interest in marketing and you just think, oh, you want to journalize around marketing or something, you could do that. But for niching down to a role, no, please, you're an analyst, you're an analyst. You can derive insight from businesses. You can derive insight from businesses. Just position yourself well that way. And that's the reason why we should not always put tools forward, but rather our analytical thinking. I hope that answers your question now. So should I do different projects with different tools, or can a project still show skill of another tool even if that wasn't used? The gospel truth is, even in one project, you can use two tools. If you follow the description we've talked about, at Pam Davis, if you could please help me paste your questions again, I'll come back to it after answering Manuel. So should I use different projects for different tools? If you follow the structure we just talked about today, where your README is not talking about code. Can you see your README is not talking about code? It's talking about your business, your company's context, your business questions, your KPIs, the insights in dimensions, right? If you follow through that process, you'll notice that with that, you can even use two tools. You can use SQL to do the analysis, use Python to do the analysis, and the scripts for each of them, you put them as part of your appendix. I don't know if that makes sense. So all I'm trying to say is the tool should not inform or should not be the decision why you're doing a different project. So if you're doing a different project, it should be because you want to do a different company's context, not because you want to use a different tool. I hope that makes sense, Emmanuel. So even if you'll be doing a different project, it should be because there is a different context and a different analytical flow you want to show there, not because you're trying to show you can use a tool. Because with a single project, if you follow through the steps we talked about today, you can actually use two tools to answer one, to do a single project, and you have it in your appendix. And if it's dashboard, you can actually have a snapshot of your dashboard in your README. That works as well. The same way you can have a snapshot of your architecture, that works because that is not code. You're not writing your DAX there. You're not writing your cleaning process there. You're just showing it and having your explanations, everything there. That also works. So thank you so much, Tim. Pam Davis, I'm not sure you've resent your question, but let me try to see if I can locate the question you asked. Hmm. Esther, if you could locate this question, you can please just bring it forward. But I don't
Okay,
see.
so I'm not sure we got the question because
Okay.
okay. Oh, okay, I can see it. He sent it around 11:54.
Oh,
He
11.
said, explain more on architecture diagram. I think that was one of the things you mentioned under data engineering also.
Oh, that is Godwin, not Davis. But I'll quickly take
Oh,
that.
Godwin. Okay, okay, Davis. Okay. So, like I said, I don't think I saw the question because I
Of course.
also went through the chats. I didn't see the question. So if it's possible for you to resend it, please resend your question so she can handle it. Please, if you have more questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments. So this is Q&A section right now. And then after this time, we will move to the portfolio walkthrough. If you have your portfolio link here, maybe you didn't register it, please register it. And again, please, while we are still trying to get more questions, if you submitted your portfolio link, I would like you to raise your hand, tell us your name, and then we would use your portfolio. So if you are here right now and you submitted your portfolio link to us during your registration, please let us have it in the comments or let us see you in the comments. Tell us your name and then we get the link. And that will be what we're going to be reviewing this afternoon. So please, if you have more questions, don't hesitate to answer them. After Blessing's presentation, I'm also going to share some things. Yeah, after
All
the
right.
call. So please, if you are here right now, you submitted your portfolio, please, let's have it. Has he sent the question now?
Yes, he has resent it, and I'll quickly
Okay.
answer Godwin, then take Davis or
All right.
David. Well, Godwin, an architecture diagram. Let me get back to that question. 1154. Explain more on architecture diagram. So your architecture diagram is simply stating how you want to build a system. Now I'm saying from the part of a data engineer, right? Your architecture diagram that I referenced here is saying, oh, you're saying your data is coming in from one or two or three different sources. You're bringing it through Airbytes, right? You're taking it to a central repository system, right? You're also you're putting it in a central repository system. You're also having to transform it, and you're sending the data somewhere else. Transforming for business decision is landing somewhere else, and you're sending that same particular detail ready for analysis. Like you can see, I've mentioned different things, and I'm speaking to you now. Let's say you're my stakeholder and I'm explaining to you. Won't you be lost? Even if you're very smart and you will not be lost, it's not a good practice. It's saying it's basically like a roadmap. Yeah, let me use the word a map, right? Think of it like a map. No, you're trying to locate a new location, or just telling you go here, go right, go left, go this, and you arrive at this location. That's what an architecture diagram is. I would have shared my screen and show you one, but that's not the scope of today's call. I'm trying not to drift from our session. You could check more on that or reach out to me on LinkedIn. I should have one or two architectures available for you to look at. I could just share one with you privately. So you look at it if you're a data engineer, you're a data engineer and you're interested in data engineering. All right, Pam Davis. I would answer your question briefly. I've seen a lot of job descriptions that required at least a BSc in fields related to business. How does it affect me who is from a background in health? So, David, I want to tell you something right now, and please take it and never lose it. Never disqualify yourself before getting to that room. Please do not disqualify yourself before your interviewer tells you, oh, unfortunately, or sorry, we cannot go for that. There are most times JDs are sent out, and the people who end up getting those roles do not exactly map the initial job description or all the details, because every company has what they prioritize or what they're looking out for. Maybe just because the job role is maybe a lot of business this thing will be needed or that and that, you just feel okay, maybe they should ask for somebody who has something related to business. In fact, prior to now in tech, every time they're always asking you, did you study anything in STEM? Are you in any did you do any STEM related course? A lot of people will still ask, but there are people who are getting those jobs and they did not do any STEM related course. I know of Muyoluwa of what's the name of this community, this female data community. She heads it. Ajoluwa, what's her full name? I'll get and I'll share with the team. She did not study any STEM related course, but she's doing great now. The company where she works at, and they clearly requested for that job description. But she, among every other, she sent in her application. Now again, this is where your portfolio speaks for you. Even if your BSc is not related to what they requested for, because they are seeing your portfolio and it feels like you can actually do the work, they will let you in, they will give you a chance for an interview. Now it's now left for you to go to the interview and prove that you can actually do this thing. Like you stated, you know what you need to do. So please do not disqualify yourself. They might ask for all of this, or BSc in this, or even ask if you even have a master's or you have an MBA. They may ask for that in the required courses. But what about the actual job that needs to be done? The BSc is not doing the job. The certificate you've acquired in school is not what's going to do the job. They need people who can get the job done in most case scenarios. So please do not disqualify yourself before your employer disqualifies you. Shoot your shot, have a strong portfolio, and you'll be good to go. I hope that answers your question. I think I saw another question around. Okay, how can I do to have unique projects on my portfolio which are not over the internet? Again, I can see a project that you've done before that's over the internet, and I'll pick it, I'll do it better. Mine would stand out better, right? But again, please do not do what everyone is doing. You can have the same data sets. Maybe you add to it, remove from it, get a company's context. Look for you can make up a company's name. I'm not asking you to, the company must be real. Join 347 initials, company ABC, give the company a name. Don't write a company this. Put a name to it. Build the context that you want to solve. Do you understand? Do what needs to be done, and you'll be really, really good. Okay? So not necessarily what is all about. Just try. Download the data set. Use AI, add to your data sets. Add more context to it. Add more rows. Take out rows. Add more columns to a table. Do everything that needs to be done, and you would actually be good. I don't know. I don't know the company I'm to work. How do I tailor my portfolio around it? Then that means you're open to any form of data analysis role. So please just you could make research, right? You could have a research. Oh, what are the most common industries, and just maybe build a project for 2 or 3 different industries. Obviously, by industries I mean different contexts. A company this, maybe one on sales, maybe one on AOV, just different things you need to do. I don't know if that makes sense. So just build what you actually need to build, and we'll be good to go. So I don't know, is there any other person? Esther asked a question earlier. We're on this call and you dropped your portfolio earlier. Please, what's your name? So we can just look at your portfolio together within the next 5-10 minutes, and we'll call it a session. Well, not a session. Esther still has so much more for the team.
Blessing, thank you so much. So
Thank
I would like to
you.
confirm if you've answered Benny's question. He said, how can I do, or sorry, what can I do to have a unique? Okay, I think you've answered
You've
that.
answered that. I
And
think I
then
have to
someone asked
answer Nadika,
between,
please.
sorry,
Nadika, please. I've not answered that question.
okay, there are some questions here that I
Mm.
think you've not answered.
Okay, please just ask me and I'll answer them. Let me let you do the honors, please.
Okay, let me do it. Okay, so for Yahweh Roja, between Power BI and R, what should I emphasize? Have you undo that?
Okay, no.
Okay, so let
Mm.
me read it again. So between Power BI and R, what should I emphasize more for my data analyst career?
If you want a career in data analysis, Power BI. If you want a career in statistical analysis, R. So I'm going to take that again. I studied mathematics in school, right? And at the point, I had to take a course on statistical analysis where I learned SPSS, data, and R. So for statistical analysis, for research work, like I mean academic research work, I know they use a lot of R, data, and SPSS. When you're coming into the industry, you need to use industry accepted tools or industry used tools. I've been working, this is my third year working, and no one has ever brought up R in a conversation. And I know I follow a number of data professionals. I have a number of data professionals in my circle. And I don't think anyone uses R. I only have a friend, Dobams, that uses R. But you don't want to put yourself in such a place where you're not struggling to get job because what is the requested of you? You don't have an idea about it, right? So it depends on what you intend to achieve. I don't know if that answers your question, Yawi. I don't know what background you have. If you have background in statistics, because most likely students who have background in statistics that are maybe from school, out of school, have been exposed to R, Stata, SPSS. So please, the next question, Esther, while Roger answers, if you've answered that question.
So before we go to the next question, I want to confirm if you've answered Benny's question. Have you seen it and have you answered it?
No, please take that question again.
Okay, so I'm going to read it right now. I've seen a lot of job descriptions that require at least a BSc in fields related to business.
I've
How
answered that.
does it affect me, who is from a background
That
in
has been
health?
answered.
That has been answered.
Yes, and you already gave a reply that is okay with it.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Has been answered.
Okay, so where do you suggest best to create a website that will contain my portfolio? Has that been answered?
Website that will contain your portfolio. I already mentioned that my best advice to creating a portfolio is GitHub. So I don't think I have an answer to a website to on your portfolio. Sorry, I don't have an answer to a website that you use to tailor your portfolio. Rather, I would say please have your portfolio on GitHub. Have your portfolio on
Okay,
GitHub. You can have a website for any other thing you need to do and attach it to something. Yeah.
okay, that's fine. To add to this, to what you just said. So there is no one fit all for anything for what we are talking about right now. You can use GitHub. You can use a simple website like Wix, Wix. You can use any website, but anyone that wants to access your portfolio must be able to access it. Access it. It's not like you are giving out a link and then they will click on a link and then it will be saying 404, or it will be saying I don't have access, or it will be saying something else. So far, that link is accessible to anybody that wants to access it, then it's fine. GitHub is one of the best portfolios that people talk about. Sorry, best platforms. We have different platforms where you can showcase your portfolio, but it is very important that it is structured, just like everything that she has said. And it's also very important that it is accessible. There was a time that someone shared a portfolio link to me. I clicked on it and they were telling me to sign up. Why should I sign up? Do I even have time to sign up? So, for instance, I'm a recruiter and I have like 100 portfolios to look at, or let's say 50 portfolios. Do you think I will start signing up before accessing your portfolio? It's not like you understand what it is. So it is very essential that whichever website that you want to house your portfolio, ensure that it is accessible, ensure that it does not need any sign up. So that's just an addition to what Blessing has said. So there is no one fit all for any for what we are talking about right now, but just ensure that it is structured. It's something that when they click on it, it is something that it is clear, simple, and readable, and then it can be accessed. Yeah. So thank you. So I'm going to be going to the next one. If I don't know the company I'm to work, how do I tailor my portfolio around it? I think you've answered that part, right?
Let's have answered that
Okay.
question.
Okay, thank you. All right. So the next thing I will do does a portfolio need to have a live dashboard? When and where do you put your live dashboard? Have you answered it?
No.
Okay, please.
All right. I'm
Should I
very
read
sure
it
we
again?
know how to. No, I read that already. I got that.
Okay, thank
I'm very sure we know how to publish our dashboards, whereby when you attach the link, anyone who clicks on the link can interact with it, right? So please publish your dashboard. Attach the link in your README while talking about what you've done. Attach the link. You can, like I said, you can take snapshot of a page and just maybe the main analysis, have it there. You could also have maybe you have a what are they calling, a PPT or a Word document. Take for the different things, just put it there and just have it as an appendix. Maybe you think the link might not be working some other time, or anyone who does not have the time to start going over the internet and just wants to download the file to look at it, you could do that. But please publish your work. Once you publish it, there is a link. Attach it to your README within your write-up. And you can just say, well, you want to interact with your dashboard better, with the dashboard better, or filterings and all, they could look at it. I hope that answers your question. And Esther, you could further buttress that as well.
you. You answered it perfectly. So I'll move to the next one. Okay, okay. So someone says, I'm so interested in data, but I struggle with understanding the maths. I've never been good at it, and this scares me. Do you advise that I find another career?
All right. Me. Let me see. I know I mentioned earlier that I studied mathematics in school, but let me tell you something. You use more math than you know. Nobody is asking you to find X. Nobody is telling you to solve a quadratic equation of power 5. Nobody is asking you to solve a complex analysis whereby you're not even seeing numbers, it's just alphabet and Arabic you're seeing. Nobody is asking you for that. In fact, that's the reason why all of these platforms exist. The mathematics have been done, they have been built underneath. But one thing you should know is you should have clear understanding of some basics. And those things are not impossible to learn, regardless of what background you're coming from. So those things, they are not impossible to know, regardless of what background you're coming from. For example, the difference between mean and median, and why you should use what and when you should use what. I'm not asking you what is the formula for mean or what is the formula for median. Do you know what they do? Why do we even have variance? What are you varying with? So please, in fact, I think sometimes the knowledge or the thought of don't know math or whatever experience we've had in our secondary school or our primary school, the PTSD is coming forward in our professional world today. Trust me, math is not hard. Let's even leave math is not hard conversation. Let's come back to the math you need to sustain you is not impossible to understand. And it is not the formula you're being asked for. It's knowing what to use and when to use it. And it's not far-fetched. It's not something you cannot learn. You can learn it very, very, very well. And I tell you that for a fact. Number things between maybe percentage, mean, median, how to like they are very, 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 very much understandable. Take a bet on yourself. to go up there, search for mathematics related to your data analysis career. Look at each of them, and trust me, you will do so well, even more than you understand. Because what we need is your thinking, not your mathematics formula, not how big the formula is, not your quadratic equation. So if you can think it, you can do it. Yeah, thank you.
So listen for that answer. I think one thing what my question said is understand the fundamentals. That's one of the things that I tell people every single time I have that opportunity. Before you start learning anything about data analytics, understand the fundamental, understand why we're even doing it. Before you start learning any tools, understand the basics. For instance, you want to learn Python. So you are not learning the data structure. You're not learning the data types. You're not learning what variable is, the data types and all those things. And you're not jumping to function. You will be like, this thing is not for me. Or you want to learn Power BI. You're not learning how to import data into dashboard, into Power BI. You want to learn Power BI. You did not learn how to, or the model part of the interface. You did not learn the table part of the interface, and you are jumping to DAX. You will become overwhelmed easily. So that's why before you start learning anything, please understand the fundamentals. This maths, I've seen a lot of people from zoology. Those people that are not from even a tech background, they are doing tech. They are doing a lot of them. So I don't want you to give up easily. Just start. And if you think it's not for you, can go to a simpler one, but that's not what I would advise you. I did accounting in school. I did not do any tech related course. A lot of my colleagues at work, they did physiology, they did medical related courses, they did zoology, they did not even do any tech related, and they are there solving it. That's because they understand the fundamentals and they are ready to learn. And you also need to be curious. That's one of the things, one of the attributes of being a data professional. So all these things, that's why we need to have this conversation, like Blessing said. Conversations like this will help you to broaden your understanding, but also help you whether you're doing the right thing or you're not doing the right thing. Once again, Blessing, thank you so much for that. Okay, so we have another question.
Oh, yes,
How
I
do
can
I get
Can you
okay?
hear me? Please, I want
Yeah,
to
I can
just
hear
say
you clearly.
one last word. Omawumi, nothing is not hard.
Okay.
Because
Everything is hard.
I
Yeah.
just said something that will go to the one that is not hard. Let me tell you something. To be poor is hard. To be rich is hard. So as far as you want to excel in any field, only if you want to be a mediocre at that particular field. Any field you're going to go into today, right? Even if it's front end you want to go and do, even if it's business you want, if it's marketing you want to do, only if you want to be a marketing that you're just telling you to write one thing. See, as far as you want to get to, you want to make something out of that particular career, it is hard. So I tell people, I tell anyone who cares to listen, choose your hard and stay there. To be poor is hard. To be rich is hard. Choose your hard, like it is a decision. Choose what type of hard you want and stay there. Do you understand? That's the only last conversation I need to talk about on this. Please, everything is hard. Take it to the markets. Everything is hard.
Thank you for the addition. So you asked, how do I get a place for an internship program for data science? Please, I want to confirm if you've answered this or not.
No, I haven't. So for
Okay.
internship, I know there is what we call DSN in Nigeria, Data Science Network, right? I know they offer a lot of internships to people. In fact, I've had people who had gone there or passed through there for internship. I used to be a tutor of a particular program that used to be entirely free, where you also do internship. But apparently, that's not the case any longer. But you could also look out for it. It's called Tech Skills Accelerator Program by University. So you could actually look into it as well. Do you understand? A lot of others. There's Onyx. Okay, I think I could work with Esther, or I know Esther should have a number of internship, whatever they see, and just post on level. I can't say verbatim or categorically, but aside these ones, I just said off my head. If anyone here who is into data science, please, it's a community. The answer doesn't have to come from me, right? If anyone here, you're currently doing internship anywhere, or you know of any internship opening, or you know of organization bodies that offer internship, you could just drop it here. Data science internship, data analysis internship. Where I've not gotten to, you've gotten to, and that's what makes world beautiful. And that's why you can never do life alone, right? Even in your career, you can never do your career alone. And the more helping hands you have or you offer people, you will also get the same reward. So please, if you know you're currently under any internship or you know of any internship, please just state it, data analysis, data science, data engineering, state it in the chat. And I'm very sure that, who asked the question, please? I'm very sure is looking at the charts and would see your recommendations. Thank you in advance. Esther,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bless them. Because of time, I don't think I need to say anything again. But for the internship part, she already mentioned some things that don't I was actually active. I think last year, she
Ah, you can hear me. Your voice is actually
is still
cracking.
cracking,
Yes, it got better, but it's back again.
but it's better now.
No, it's still cracking.
Okay, please go ahead with your question so I can fix this.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll take the last question I can see here. Okay, I have two more. With vast advanced Excel and Power BI, I can call myself an analyst, or is SQL a must? Tolulope, SQL is not a must. SQL doesn't make you an analyst, right? You understand advanced Excel, Power BI, put yourself out there. If you choose you now want to learn SQL, that's fine. Learn SQL, still do your projects, build your, like we've earlier mentioned, the same structure, and you're good to go. Yes, you can call yourself an analyst, and you're an analyst to Lope. Please, one thing I'm also going to say here, and I hope everyone here is listening, is please, I don't want to see aspiring data analysts in your portfolio or in your on your LinkedIn. You're a data analyst, you're a data analyst. You're not aspiring, you're not incoming. There is no swearing in occasion we get to do in the industry as a whole that you would say you're an incoming data analyst. There is no election we do in the industry that would now vet you to being a data analyst or not. So please, like I said, if you present yourself or you present your work like homework, you'll be treated and to be treated like homework. But if you present yourself as a professional, you'll be taken like a professional with experience and handled like a professional. And I hope that answers your question. Can a portfolio be composed of one project by the special grace of God? Yes. But that has depth, right? So it definitely has depth. Yes, your portfolio can comprise of one project. But it's nice, like they say, the writing makes it, I can't remember the word verbatim, let me know. But let me just paraphrase. Writing is beautiful, right? But you can have it one. That's perfect. If it's one, you can, because you cannot do this at the same time. Do one first. Ensure it covers all the principles we've discussed on, right? Do that one. Go online, tag everyone, any professional you can see that you want person to help you look. In fact, in process of going online and pasting your work and having people review it, you're gaining traction. Someone said something on LinkedIn yesterday. I consume a lot of LinkedIn information, I must say. She said that she worked on a particular project, she posted it, that the correction she got from that project, she got those correction, she understood them, and she knew the answers. When she now got to an interview and she was presenting her project, those questions people already pointed out was what was asked in the interview, and she was able to answer and flow because out there in the community, those things have been pointed out. She has gotten answers, she has gotten clarity on those particular areas on that project. So please try not to build in silence. Try not to build in silence. Try to put yourself out there and you're good to go. I don't know if Esther is back, but our time is fast spent.
Yes, I am back. Please confirm my voice is clear now and it's not shaking. Is it better now?
Yeah, I think it's something we can work. It's better because something we can work with.
Okay. So because of time, I think we should just go ahead and handle the walkthrough
All right, I'll do that.
Yes,
I think
that's what
someone,
we're going to do.
I'm not sure anyone mentioned that is submitted, but
I
sorry,
can
let me.
see how do I make my portfolio link clickable on my resume. Do not worry about that one. So I'm going to say something after the call. So I don't want us to drag this again. But please remind me or resend this question after everything, please. Okay, she said not really, but we can hear you. That's not a problem. So please do. I have not seen any link yet. Maybe she will just make use of one of the links she has access to and do a walkthrough. Please don't
Okay.
leave. This part is very, very important. Thank you so much for waiting to the end of this class. Like I said, I'm going to be getting two people. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but please let's work on what we've been taught. After you've worked on it, send your portfolio link to my email. I'm going to look at it and I'm going to give you feedback and then you can now revamp it. Yeah. So please, Blessing, since we can't see any link right now in the comments, kindly just pick one of the links I shared with you and let's review it together. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I have anointing the analyst portfolio. I'm really hoping anointing is on this call. All right. So I have anointing the analyst portfolio. The reason why I picked this is because now I had not looked at this portfolio prior to now, but I'm saying something like a self-trained data analyst with the skills with the use of this. That's the reason why I'm using this. So I'll call this out. Given our conversation for the past 1 hour 30 to 45 minutes, I'm sure we know why this should not exist. With the use of Power BI, Python, Tableau, SQL at Anointing Analyst. But there are some things he did well that I would, we know not to put this. There's nothing like self-trained. They're not a data analyst or you're not a data analyst. And your data analyst is not because of your skill with all of this, but it's because of what is required of a data analyst or of a data analyst, sorry. So talk about that. You cannot have a skill session afterwards, but this should not be part of what makes you a data analyst. If you want to talk about your skills, your technical skills, or your use, no, not even technical skills, your use of tools, right? You can now have a section for that. Now look at project one. We have global data science market analysis, a fundamental for a formulated a data-driven recruitment strategy by modeling excuse me, sorry, sorry about that. By modeling salary inflation trends and debunking common remote work cost assumptions, projected to save 19% in annual hiring cost. So there are a couple of things that now it's good, but is it structured properly? Not entirely. But you can see that even having this here is giving us a way to view his, and this is his website, but we have what a way to view his project, which is what I mentioned. Even if you have a website, let it not have all the details. You can just have the name, then a link that will direct us so we can look at your sorry, or you can look at what you have very well. So you can see we have the summary, global data science market analysis executive summary. This project analyzed the data set of 3,000 global data science roles to determine all of this. What we've discussed, can anyone mention what this should not be and what it's supposed to be? In fact, there's no reason why I'm even seeing 2020 to 2023. I'm very sure, I can infer, I don't want to say I'm very sure. Probably he downloaded the data set and data set is stating this is for 2020 2023. Hence why it's project topic this way. Right. So in fact, there's no even reason I should even say data science. What part are you trying to do? Are you trying to model? Are you trying to this project name is not it? Let me see if I can make sense of his analysis quickly. What he used. Can you see? Just executive summary, analyst one, salary and inflation check. Please, who can? We are all going to review this very well. We are all going to review this particular based on what we've discussed on. Make my portfolio your email, please. So, based on what we've discussed on, please, what do you think could have been done better at this level? Hello. Our analysis structure talked about what? The first thing is what? Company's context. Is there any company's context we are seeing here? In fact, is there any company here? This project analyzed a data set of 3,000 plus global data science roles to determine cost optimization strategies for recruitment. This is actually a business case study. At least I know there are companies who handle recruitment. For example, we have the likes of Andela, we have the likes of Savannah. So you could assume the role of any of those, or just give any company a name, talk about what the company does. You could use Andela or Savannah's business strategy or their use case. Put it there. We recruit talent for this and this and this. We've been able to look at, like, just give a company context. Let me know who this is for. Because you can't just create analysis for analysis sake. Who is this for? So create a company's context. Give it a name. After creating your company's context, what's the next thing you should do based on our conversation? Business questions. Everyone is in business to make money. What is the business question you're trying to answer? Then the KPIs that would answer that. Oh, you're doing market research or you're the marketing analyst for Andela or for Savannah. These are the business questions, the KPIs, the insights. So you tell Andela this, so Savannah, do this. I'm not saying you should call out as Andela or Savannah verbatim. I'm just trying to tell you these are businesses that I can tell based on his use case that their business scope can model what he's trying to do. And one thing we should know is this: while building your portfolio, there are always analysis to make. There is always, I say, every data point, analysis can be derived from it. That's why you have to have a scope, you have to have a company's context and a business decision. Else you will keep, because you always see something to analyze in your data. And that way you lose everybody because there is no business question. I don't know if that makes sense. I have this bottle of water. I think I opened it like 1 hour before this session. All prepping I was taking it, and I have this. I can write a statement on this analysis. I can say, oh, Blessing takes a bottle of water every 2-3 hours. What business question? Oh, number one, trying to what? So this is not an analysis class. So I'm really trying not to deep dive into doing data analysis training right now, right? But we should be able to understand that every data point, I have my phone, I have my AirPods here. This data point, I can say, oh, I want to count the number of gadgets on my work table. I could say, I want to count, oh, does she have a mouse? See, every single thing we have is a data point. But you need to have a business question, your business questions, which now determine your analysis. So you don't just imagine I'm here, I'm counting number of tools. Tomorrow I'm saying, is my laptop hot or is it cold? I'm having insight, but they're all disjointed. They're not making sense holistically. So while learning, while looking at application, please think of it in terms of context. Your context should move or inform all your decisions. Context matters a lot in data profession. I'm telling you that your context, see, trust me, that analysis you want to do is good. It is insightful. But if it's not within context, it is useless. This is not a data analysis class. Let's come back to what we need to do. So back to what I was saying, KPIs. Now, because I can't even make sense of the business question, determine the rise of this. Because now what you're doing is the KPI. You're giving me directly what you want to achieve. and you're already interpreting each of them already for me at this level. You're interpreting this. If you are done your KPIs, you give me your business question, the KPIs, and doing your insights. You're not giving me all your KPIs. But sometimes one KPI, the second KPI you're doing might take data from the first KPI, bringing everything holistically. You can now give me your insights together. I'll be able to follow through. Now I'm struggling to follow through what it's trying to. I can't even tell what it's trying to achieve here right now. I don't know if that makes sense. So please help whoever is looking at your work. Insights, then your recommendations. Then you can now have on this other part, have every other thing, all your attachments, your scripts, stating what you've done. Quickly, I'll come. I know I said I was going to review one, but let me review this for Favor Oluchukwu Okoli. I'm passionate about using data and AI to solve environmental, food, and energy problems. I have a strong interest in learning to build ML models for, like, nothing like interest. We don't do any form of induction in this industry. Sometimes from your words, one can tell how confident you are. Trust me, everyone wants a confident employee, or one who is confident in their skills. No one will see a confident employee and a non-confident one and pick non-confident one over the other. If every other thing is the same, because there are way more metrics in picking. There are way more metrics in picking an employee. Sorry, do you understand? So this bio needs to be worked on, right? Passionate about using data and AI. What are you? And one thing we often tend to misconstrue is, because you're working in a role and the role in that company, according to the company's organogram or structure, they tell me to be marketing analyst, or yeah, maybe marketing analyst. You now come and you change your role to I'm a marketing analyst. Your job is not your career. I would need to reiterate this again and again. Your job is not your career. Your job is not whom you are. You would see on my bio, I'll tell you I'm a data solutions architect and engineer, right? But I currently work for a consulting firm, and the name of our team is data and AI team. In fact, most of my colleagues have consultant, maybe senior technology consultant, or they have technology consultants in their bio. But as far as I'm concerned, as my career, I am data solutions architect and engineer. So your job role is not whom you are. So I don't want a situation where, you're waiting to get a job, then whatever they now you now go and change your role. You don't know whom you are. Yes, no. Based on the career you're trying to build, what exactly are you? Again, I'm trying to lay emphasis on all of this because I think people will see before they start opening your projects. So please, like I said, you're not aspiring, you're not intending or introducing anything. So let's all get that straight. I'm sure we understand why this will not fly. We said something during our introduction today. What did we talk about? Exercises. So during your learning, let me share this tab. Your learning phase, when you're practicing SQL, practicing pandas, building dashboard and training model, that is not when you should build a portfolio. When you're applying all of this to business and case scenarios or case studies, that is when you should build a portfolio. Your do's and don'ts, I know we talked about do's and don'ts, a collection of exercises, that is not what a portfolio is. Now I'll share this tab again. You can see this is what we have here. This is a collection of exercises. Mind you might want to keep track of what you're doing. Please make it private. You can make your GitHub pushes private. Go there, change it, make it private. Maybe you want to keep it for your own self, or you want to have a digital profile. That's fine. That's on you. But please make it private. It is not a portfolio. I think there's nothing much to be said on this. We've discussed this in detail. I'll just quickly go to the second. Thought I saw two. Thought I saw two repositories. Okay, in absence of none, please, let's just look at what we have so far. I'll stop sharing my screen. Esther, apologies, we short more than the supposed time. Team, I
Okay,
hope
that's not
single thing in practice, and it was nice doing this with the entire team. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Blessing Okeke. See me over there, and would have a great time over there. Hopefully, maybe someday, sometime, Esther will bring me back and have another discussion. But for now, bye for now, Tim. And it was nice and great having you. Esther, please.
Thank you so much, Blessing, once again for the clarity and practical insights that you shared. Like I said earlier, I knew it was going to be very insightful. We sincerely appreciate how you were able to break it down. But before I go on, please confirm you can hear me clearly. Am I audible? Is it shaking?
Yes, way better.
Okay, it's perfect now. Okay, okay, all right. So this has been a very valuable session. Like I said, thank you so much, Blessing,
Thank
for
you.
your clarity, for the practical insights. And one thing that really stood out to me today is this. When Blessing was talking, she said, don't just push tools, show how you think. Anyone can list Python, anyone can list SQL, anyone can list Power BI, anyone can list R, machine learning models, all those things. But what really matters is how you think. But it is not everybody that can explain their problems, the problem statements now, or the business needs. Not everyone can explain the approach. Not everyone can explain the impacts that they got from the analysis or the model that they built. And these are the various things that actually make the portfolio to be a very strong one, right? So it is very, very important. Let's not really bother about the tools. Of course, we need the tools to do the project, but let's not really focus more. Let's not emphasize more on the tools that we're using, but let's sit down to think about the problem that we're trying to solve. That would help us to structure it well. That would help us to even clearly and confidently defend it when we are in the position to do that. And for those that are currently in their waiting phase, I think two or more persons talked about waiting. Some of them have their portfolios already. Okay, where can they do internship and all those things? Just like Blessing said earlier, don't just wait passively. While you are waiting, or what are you doing while waiting? So while you are waiting, you can build projects, you can refine the old ones you have. Some people have a portfolio already, which means they have projects in their portfolio, but they might be old already. So this is an opportunity for you to refine the old ones, do more projects, latest ones, new ones that are very strong, that you can confidently talk about. Another thing is that you can do in this waiting phase is to hone your skills. That's one of the things she said as well. Don't just sit down and you're waiting. There's no job, there's no job. One thing I tell people that is very, very, very important, and she also mentioned it. I was very happy when she mentioned it. Show yourself. Visibility matters. If you are just there, even after doing all these things and you build your projects and nobody sees it, nobody will give you job. But when you do all these projects, when you create these portfolios, ensure that somebody sees it. I'm not saying you should reach everybody and tell them, this is my portfolio. I'm saying that go on LinkedIn, tell people about your work, tell people about the projects that you've done, explain to them, do a walkthrough. I think I saw a video recently. Sorry, not a video. I saw a comment where someone said, how can they do a video or so? How you can do a video? You don't need a perfect camera. You don't need camera for it. Just do a screen recording on your laptop. Do one of these projects. When you do the project, post it on LinkedIn. Somebody will see it. There is this example I share every single time, that there was one lady, she learned automation. When she learned that automation, what she did not just learn it and sit down. What she did was she learned it and posted it on LinkedIn. Somebody saw it and gave her a 3-month contract job, not in the same country that she was in a different country. That's because she decided to push it. When the person saw it, a proprietress, she was like, wow, I love this automation. Come and do the same thing in my own business too. And that was what happened. What if she had left it in her computer? Yeah, she did a recording of it. What if she had left it and just sat down? Well, I'm just practicing. Well, I'm just new now. I don't know anything now. Then she would not have gotten that opportunity. So we must not always wait. As we are learning all these things, as we are doing projects, as we are building portfolios. Portfolio is one of the things that people don't really talk about, but it is also a very important thing that you need to also be intentional about. Be intentional about your portfolio. And what she did was to post it. So please don't just do all these things and leave. And don't say I'm an introvert. I said it a lot of times. Some people would say they are introverts. They don't know how to bring themselves out there. Then just stay there. Then how do you think people will know what you are capable of doing? It is when you take yourself out there. It is when you have presence out there. It is when that's when people would know what you can do. That's when people will know what you are doing. But if you don't do all these things, nobody will know. So please, we've already taught a lot of things. I don't want us to extend the time anymore. So all these things, if you were not able to listen attentively, maybe you had distractions, please ensure that you go back to the video, watch it again, implement it. And like I said, especially for those that waited until this meeting, until the end of this session, please try as much as possible and work on your portfolio. Send the link to me and I will also review it and give you some feedback. So please prepare, do the things that you need to do, and I believe that you're going to get the results. So now, before we wrap up, next week, right? Because I knew that if we were to talk about the structure today and also include building of that portfolio, then people will get tired and all those things. And I did not want us to really spend like 4 hours in a call. So next week, we're going to take it a step further. And what we're going to be doing is to show you how to actually build and host your portfolio on the web. We said earlier that we're not going to talk about it too. So we didn't talk about it too. So next week, Saturday, by God's grace, we are going to be showing you how to build and host your portfolio on your web. We won't be talking about the structure anymore. We won't be talking about the thinking because we've already talked about it here. So today we only talked about the structure and thinking. Next week will be implementation. So make sure you register for it and don't miss it. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. Please go and refine your portfolio. And before you leave, tell Blessing, thank you. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, Blessing. Okay, I can see a question. Am I supposed to do video of my dashboard or just snap it? For dashboard, anyone can access the dashboard. Dashboard cannot be restricted, which means you can share the link. There is no need of doing a video walkthrough. However, you can, if you feel like doing a video walkthrough so as to show it to the world, so as to show them how you did it, of course you can send it. There are different ways to do things. Just do the ones that is best for you. Some people prefer writing. Some people prefer doing video and showing themselves. Whatever works for you, please do it. So far you show yourself. No, I mean so far you are visible. I'm not talking about video right now. So far you post about it. It could be in writing, it could be in audio, it could be in video. So whatever works for you, please do it. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Please enjoy the rest of your day. I don't want us to take more time again, but thank you, everyone. Thank you, Blessing. Help me to shower. Please connect with her on LinkedIn, connect with her on Twitter, connect with her on Instagram as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, Tim.
And thank you so much,
Blessing.
Really appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah. So for the I'm going to send the link. I'm going to send the email. I'm going to send my email right now. Please stay on the call so that you'll be able to get it. And I'm also going to send link to my community. If you're not on WhatsApp channel yet, please join the WhatsApp channel because that's where I send all updates to.